We've been in the Solana ecosystem for the past 3 years, building with the entire crowd, degens, as well as the cults that we really love. One of our lead investors, who was FTX Ventures, actually brought us to Solana, introduced us to the foundation. My name is Chris Zhu. I am the co-founder and CEO of Sonic SVM. Sonic's the first SVM dedicated for sovereign game economies built on top of Solana. So we allow games to build its own ecosystem on top of the gaming chain sitting on top of the base layer. We've been in the Solana ecosystem for the past 3 years, building with the entire crowd, degens, as well as the cults that we really love. Over the last 3 years, we've realized that it's very difficult for games to launch and go to market on top of Solana for a couple of reasons. One is that there are no good infrastructure primitives to support these launches. Two, the growth and user acquisition is not so easy for games to do. And three, the economic incentive sharing is not available on a generalized L1. So we're very excited to bring all of that to the games on top of Solana and be able to support them, whether it be economically or technically, so that they can launch their games and go to market to millions of users. The entire team was working in Tencent, Electronic Arts, ByteDance, so various gaming companies across the globe. And what we are very good at is digital asset publishing to a global audience. And when we realized that there is an opportunity to have very low latency, high performance chains like Solana or the Solana virtual machine on the bottom of it, we realized that we can revolutionize how gaming publishing is done through Solana with way higher liquidity, way higher money velocity all over the globe. That's why we started working on Sonic SVM to utilize that Solana virtual machine and build on top of a great liquidity layer like Solana. So we can actually take out a lot of the consensus mechanisms that the existing SVM client has, and then just focus on execution. So for the V2 of Sonic, we're actually pushing it closer and closer to just execution for gaming transactions. That way, the latency becomes very, very low and we can achieve a very fast TPS. That being said, we're also adding or enshrining new primitives for games onto the L2 itself. So for game developers that's interested, we're happy to hear your opinions and your feedback there. Early 2022, one of our lead investors, who was FTX Ventures, actually brought us to Solana, introduced us to the foundation. We fell in love with the ecosystem for two reasons. Technically, it was just one of the best user experiences, fastest chain out there. And second, there's a decentralized community across the entire world that is insanely vibrant. Super Team, Solar, whether it be within the greater Mandarin-speaking region or the rest of the world, there are tens of communities working simultaneously to push Solana. And the enthusiasm just really, really brought us into the ecosystem. Obviously, there's the tech as well, but I think for blockchain consensus is really at the bottom of everything that we do. We think that gaming are natural launch pads of digital assets and hosts of digital assets, whether it be meme coins, NFTs, SBL tokens. You can have various types of digital assets embedded into your game. And Web3 allows it to be financialized to a certain extent that games no longer are shitty businesses. In Web2, the publisher takes 100% of your revenue until you recoup the cost, and then you share 70% to the publisher, 30% to the game. And that just does not make sense from a content producer's perspective. So we think that with crypto and with the underlying infrastructure, we can actually increase that velocity way faster and change how publishing is done and proliferate digital assets everywhere through Solana. Yeah, so there's a couple games, probably see them on the screen. Low Life Forms, one of the largest shooters within the Solana ecosystem. We're very excited to host a couple fully on-chain games out there. The likes of Startup, who's worked with us to acquire thousands of users just over a single weekend of campaign. And we're very excited to bring in additional games that, whether it be MMORPG, TCG, or SLG, we're really looking at a full catalog of games and having a good ecosystem that have different pieces. But we want to be very selective. Quality is always over quantity. Sonic is just getting started. We launched our testnet 3 months ago, and so far we have 2.3 million active wallets all over the world. But we really are focusing on growing that user numbers and bringing user acquisition to all of our games. For us, Sonic is a very young chain. First and foremost, we need to get to mainnet. And second, we need to make our games a fortune, right? And we really want to be able to bring high quality games more and more to Solana. I think that's a very intricate question because within crypto gaming, there's segmentations of audiences. There are firmers, there are studios, there are whales, and there are just gamers who play for fun. So different types of games actually allow us to have a ecosystem that satisfies different requirements. But our ideal user or a gamer is someone who is very interested in different types of games, experiences them, and then maybe from these different types of games, they find one that they would just trade assets from because they enjoy that metagame. And the others, maybe they enjoy the shooter and they will be very heads in playing that shooter game PvP. So we really don't select our users here. Solana Gamer Village, if you look at kind of the vibes between Token 2049 and Solana Breakpoint, it's very, very different. And this is a small community originally and has grown so fast. And the experience at Breakpoint, for example, just kind of exuberance that enthusiasm towards the ecosystem. So very happy that we're here right now. So there's a couple of our most close partners that I want to give a shout out to. So we work with the Bunk guys, the MatLabs team, the Backpack team. Solana, we're one of the most highly delegated TVL on top of Solana's ABSs. So right now we have 30 million TVL delegated to Sonic before we even launch, mainnet. These are some of the guys that we've been working with very closely, including the likes of Jito, Fragmetric. I would actually advise everyone to pay attention to these projects as they are also the up and rising star of our ecosystem. So we'll love to see you interview Nam. Nam from Bunk always gives a very good PR and also a very fun person to speak to. Super intelligent, super organized, and that's why we love the Bunk team.
Whoa! Oh no! Watch